Monday night, Browns, Steelers. It's a big AFC North clash. That doesn't matter anymore because the Browns are knocked out of the playoffs and the Steelers are a long shot. They might still be able to get in. We'll see. This line has moved significantly because of that. It was 3.5 heading into Sunday. Now that the Browns are eliminated, the Steelers are pick'em or favored -1 right now at BetMGM. Total is at 41.5. Raheem, I had all my Mike Tomlin underdog stats lined up, and they're all useless now. What do we say about this game?
Oh my God, I had the same stats lined up as well. It's very, very frustrating for me. Look, I think when it comes down to this game, look, the Browns are going to be missing both of their starting safeties in John Johnson and Ronnie Harrison Jr., in addition to cornerback Troy Hill. I mean, obviously, you got the starters out there at cornerback, Greedy Williams and whatnot. But I think Roethlisberger is going to have no problem getting the ball to Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. The Browns are going to have some advantages running the ball. But when you look at the fact how Baker has played over the stretch of the season, this feels like a game in which the Steelers have an edge. Obviously, the Browns don't really have a motivation for this game with them pretty much being out of the playoffs. I took some +3.5, but with this being Roethlisberger's last game in Pittsburgh, I'm looking at Pittsburgh in this matchup.
Yeah, you say the Browns don't have motivation. So here's your Browns motivation. What happened the last time the Browns played in Pittsburgh? Let me answer for you. It was in the playoffs last year, and the Browns embarrassed the Steelers on their home field to end the season. You don't think Cleveland would love to take Ben Roethlisberger out of the playoffs embarrassingly in his last game and then out of the season forever in his last home game? I think Browns fans, after 2 decades of Big Ben, would love to do that. But Big Ben regular season, 24-2-1 straight up lifetime against the Browns. 24-2-1. Last regular season loss to the Browns was 2014. Cleveland's last win regular season in Pittsburgh, 2003. That was 19 years ago. It's 2022 now. So yeah, the Browns, some numbers for you. The Browns, until they had won those 2 games last year, they won in week 17, they won in the playoffs. Before that, they had won 5 of 36 against the Steelers. So rough showing for the Browns here. They got a buck history. The underdog trends don't work anymore, but Kevin Stefanski 1-9 against the spread in the division. The only cover was against the Bengals earlier this year. I think that the line here, even though it moves so much, -1 is about what I had it before, before the motivation shifted. I thought -1 is about right. So I think the line is still there. I think there's still some value. I had the +3.5. I've got some Steelers money line already. It's basically a pick 'em, a coin flip now.
I mean, this line is actually moving up quite a bit. We're looking at some 2.5s in the market. There's some twos in the market, 2.5s in the market. I think if this line gets to 3, or even like you're looking at a 2.5, I think it may be worth it to have a cheap buy on up to 3 on the Cleveland Browns, because as I mentioned before, the Steelers have really, really, really struggled to stop the run. Look, we saw Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota Vikings put up almost 200 yards rushing on this team. When you look at the Steelers, they're 30th in rushing EPA per play on defense. Like, this team is really struggling to stop the run. They're 22nd in rushing success rate. So what do we know the Browns like to do? They like to run the ball with Nick Chubb. I think Kareem Hunt is questionable for this matchup, but if Chubb is taking a full workload, it's like, and you're getting 2.5 points on a team that opened as 3.5-point favorites, I think you do have a positive expected value wager on the Browns at that price. I want you guys to remember that we're not betting teams, we're betting prices. So as much as we love the Steelers at +3.5, we thought this game should be a pick'em game. So now that this line's going to 2.5, I think you got to be looking Cleveland's way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't realize it was moving already. 2.5, I think, is probably a stay away for me. I'm not sure that you're getting any real value on Pittsburgh. And I agree. If it gets to that key number at 3, you just got to play Cleveland at that point, because look, why is the line moving here? We know it's moving because of the motivation factor. Oh, the Browns are out now. Only the Steelers can still win. Well, that doesn't change my motivation. If I'm a Browns player, I hate Big Ben. I want him to end his game in
You know,
Pittsburgh.
even
Terrible.
beyond that, even beyond the fact that these guys might have some motivational, because I don't think there's not look, Big Benjamin, he's 8-4 against the spread against this Browns team at home throughout his career. But who plays for the Browns right now? Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield. They weren't playing Ben Roethlisberger in 2003, 2004, 2005. They weren't here for those games. I think one of the things that we have to realize is, as fans and as bettors, is that these NFL players are playing for their job. Everything is on tape. There's 53 guys on the roster every single year. There's a draft every single year. There's free agency every single year. Guys get traded, and guys are playing for their career. So everything that you do shows up on tape. Unless you're Antonio Brown and you no longer want to play football anymore, you can throw your helmet and your pads into the stand. You're going to go out there and give your best effort. So divisional game, the Browns getting points, I think you got to take it.
Yeah, if it gets to 3, I mean, basically what you're saying at that point is from 3.5 favored for the Browns to 3-point underdogs, that just the fact that the Browns were eliminated from the playoffs without doing anything today, that alone is worth 6 or 6.5 points. And that just doesn't make sense. That doesn't jive. So I agree. The value on Pittsburgh is gone. And if the line keeps going, if it gets to 3, I'm gonna have to buy back in at Cleveland. And it's just, we're playing the number, like you said. So one other angle that I might look at if it comes available on books, I'm not seeing it right now, but I was eyeballing TJ Watt for Defensive Player of the Year, seeing him at plus 250 heading into the day today. So it's basically looking like him or Micah Parsons. And I just think we give Defensive Player of the Year to the best defensive player. TJ Watt has never won it. JJ has won it a few times. I think it's TJ's time. He's had a big season. He's looked really good. He's got a Monday night game in the spotlight, a chance to get it. Steelers can still make the playoffs if they win out and get a little bit of help there. So if you see a plus 250, maybe I might look at a 200 to 250 range. I think that could be maybe an angle to play here. I'm not super interested in the line the way that this one has moved now.